Okay, so it seems that at least sometime within the last, or maybe over the last hour or so, I'm not real sure. I'm still trying to get the specifics on that right now, but, man, I'm sorry, it just blew my mind because I'm literally just getting privy to this information. Raw is going to Netflix. I mean, and it's funny because I was actually thinking about talking about some stuff that I heard the other day about TNA and their TV deal. So, come January 2025, Monday nights is going to be Netflix and chill, apparently. At least if they're keeping it on Monday nights. I'm not 100% clear on whether or not that's a plan. Now, I think the way I understand it, if I understand it correctly, is that Netflix was one of those potential options for a changing of nights, but I don't know that that's necessarily concrete. And then, of course, as I understand it, there was also the notion that if they were going to move to Amazon, which was also a heavy favorite at one point, they were going to keep on Monday nights because, I mean, they'd still be competing with Monday Night Football, but I guess not so directly. I don't know. I'm not really sure how all of that ties together, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't do all that stuff. That's not my area of expertise at all, and I'm not going to pretend that it ever is, was, or has been. But for me, it's just kind of wild because I just kept thinking about this because this actually drug on a lot longer than I thought it would, if we're being perfectly honest. I mean, usually when it comes to these sort of things, they're a little bit more decisive about it. Like with SmackDown and NXT, for example. I think those deals were announced no more than within a month of each other. And that was at least a couple of months ago, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I don't know. It's just, they're going about this a lot differently. And with the flagship show, you could totally understand why. I mean, you do have SmackDown coming back to USA Network in the fall. And then, of course, along that time is where NXT will be going to the CW, or, yeah, it's the CW, excuse me. I don't know, I was thinking about, that's another thing. FX was actually strongly in the running at one point, particularly Disney, for having Monday Night Raws, which they would have actually kept it on Monday nights. I don't know. That's going to be interesting to see how this unfolds. But, yeah, I mean, and it seems legit. I just caught this off of Wrestle Talk. Shout out to Ollie, Luke, and the rest of the crew. Yeah, I gotta say, this is huge. This is freaking huge. I just, oh my goodness. I really wasn't expecting to catch this, especially around this particular time. But, I mean, a lot of things tend to happen overnight too, so there is that. But, and I had actually just got done recording my video talking about Kat and Joel Embiid going for 62 and 70 respectively on the anniversary of Kobe's 81. But, you know, this is its own significance here, and like I said, there was a notion of me wanting to talk about TNA and their TV deal because it was something that I heard around the way as well. I find it wild that, you know, they haven't looked to try to get onto a bigger network, especially now that they're rebranded as TNA. You could have impact on other networks, but Anthem, which of course is the owner of TNA, is also the owner of Access TV, so it makes sense that they were able to keep that there. But I mean, I think there's probably a matter of looking to change some things up a little bit. I mean, Look at USA Network, or look at Raw. They're going to Netflix, leaving USA. I mean, I'm sorry. I would have had a lot more momentum for this particular subject than what I would have had I not heard this. And that's not even the wilder part about this. Get this, okay? It seems as though it's been also announced, I don't know how long ago this happened. I'm going to assume within the last couple of hours, probably same span of time as the whole Raw Netflix deal. But it seems The Rock is going to be on with TKO, which I think is really, really funny when you get to thinking about this here. It's just so funny thinking about this to me, because literally a year or so ago, about this time, we were all talking about, you know, who was going to buy WWE, who was going to wind up taking over the ownership from Vince McMahon, you know, and a lot of us were pretty much in pins and needles about it, because many of us didn't want to see it be either Netflix or excuse me, Disney, or I think it was Amazon. I'm not real sure. I guess Amazon I probably wouldn't have minded so much, but I just didn't want to see it with Disney. I mean, you just can't expect me to believe that you'll take the product as seriously under Disney. I'm sorry. We're talking wrestling here. You can talk all the sports entertainment shit you want to about it. It's fucking wrestling, alright? I don't give a fuck what anyone says about that. So let's just be clear about that. But that aside, you know, I just think it's really wild at this point, because, I mean, we of course have the USL XFL merger that took place. We're going to be seeing that here in the next couple of months. And he's had his hands on so many different things. And of course now the story here is, of course, well, if Cody's going to finish the story, it's not going to be with Roman, or at least that seems to be what's going to be happening. I don't know. I mean, I hope that's not the way they do it. I prefer Cody Roman at Mania. I don't think they need Rock Roman at Mania, but whatever. I mean, there are ways they could make this work. There really are. I mean, I'm not really sure how it's all going to unfold, but all I know is that this whole Rock being on the board of directors, or being a part of TKO under any capacity whatsoever, is just something that I really wasn't expecting at all. Nor was I expecting Raw going to Netflix in 2025, but hey, it's WWE. Expect the unexpected. I mean, that's, and really wrestling in general, but definitely WWE. Wow, I mean, that's just freaking huge. Raw on Netflix, Rock with TKO. Can we get TNA on CW or FX or somewhere along those lines? I mean, I think we're due for them being somewhere where we can actually access it. I feel the same way about MLW, NWA, hell, even GCW, which I haven't really seen a whole lot of. Sue me, fight me, whatever. Yes, I don't have any way of making time for it. I barely have time for the shit that I keep up with as it is. But, yeah, I mean, at some point, I mean, I'm just getting back into New Japan, for fuck's sake. Come on. Anyway, that's all aside from the point, you know. It's just, God, a lot of huge stuff going on right now. I wonder what's going to be next. I mean, we were talking about the stuff with the NFL. Yeah, there'll be more. You know what it is. Like, share, subscribe. I'm out.